now, all over the country, black Democrats are starting to get their wake-up call. They're starting to finally figure it out. A lot of these Latinos in America, they got their numbers up, and they're starting to make their move. Dr. Claude Anderson warned us about this, right? They warned us. You see a lot of black Democrats down in Texas. They livid. They're upset. They online voicing their opinion. I can't believe the Latinos would do this to us. The Latinos. And us on the grassroots, we've been trying to warn you guys for years. We've been blowing the whistle. We've been saying, yo, they're not allied with us. They want close proximity to the W man. They look at themselves as the W, right? They're not our allies. Some of them are cool, but the majority of them, no, right? Nobody was listening. You want them in your community. You want this. Now a lot of Dems are upset and they're starting to talk like us. But it might be too late. So now you have Plies. He's down there in South Florida, and he's saying when he was young, a lot of them Latinos was on where he was on. Now he's starting to question their loyalty. He online, and remember, he's a staunch Democrat. He's online talking like this.
Real quick. But this to my Latino brothers and sisters that follow me on here. I'm trying to get y'all to educate me on something. I'm being dead ass serious. I ain't even being funny. I'm trying to see kind of what y'all feel. I'm trying to let y'all educate me on it because I don't want to be viewing y'all the wrong way. So I'm trying to figure out, do y'all feel like y'all align more with black folk, or do y'all feel like y'all align more with Caucasian? Like, and the reason I say that is because when I used to hear black and brown people, and I always thought we was like jointed to the hip. Like I always thought we was the black folk, you know, Latino, brown, you know. So I always thought we kind of shared some of the same struggles, same hardships, same, just, you know, we were similar. You know, I remember growing up, all my Latino buddies, they was on what I was on. But now that I look at it, it ain't as clear to me no more. And I'm trying to ask y'all, do y'all feel, Latino brothers and sisters, do y'all feel y'all are more in line with black folk? Or do y'all feel like y'all are now more aligned with Caucasians? You know, and I don't know if y'all feel like y'all more aligned with Caucasians, or if y'all inspired to be more like them than y'all do black folk. Like, I don't know. I'm fine with it either way. I'm just trying to get clarity on it because it's not as clear to me now than it used to be. Like, I used to think we was in the same fight. But now when I see things, you know, I remember the last election talking to Latino folk, and they, oh, no, he gonna, no, he gonna give us money, he gonna, you know. And I used to be like, God damn, like, going to get y'all out of here. And the only reason I'm asking, because I need to know who I'm defending. Like, I don't want to be defending who don't even, for real. So I'm asking so I know who I should and shouldn't be defending. So if y'all can just help me understand y'all thought process and who y'all feel y'all align more with, because I've seen, you know, political candidates, you know, black person, white person, and y'all be over there. So I'm just trying to get clarity on that. If y'all can help educate me on this, I surely appreciate it. And it's love either way.
And see, he's down there in South Florida with a lot of them racist W Cubans. And y'all know George Macon's background. Y'all know me and who I am, where my family's come from, right? And I've been telling and blowing the whistle and been telling you guys, they are not our allies. They don't rock with us. They are racist. He knows this, but he's down there still trying to be their friend. They have a whole history of being racist towards black people, right? A lot so bad that a lot of them that look like me don't even want to identify with their blackness. They don't even want to be black, right? I know black. They want to get away from anything black, and it's ingrained within the culture down there. Marry a W because it makes the race better. They talk like this. They got names and all kinds of names. So now that they're starting to get their numbers up, because remember, a lot of Latinos didn't get along. So Mexicans and Puerto Ricans and Dominicans and Puerto Ricans and just a lot of different groups. A lot of Mexicans don't like nobody. They don't like Guatemalans, right? They don't like Panamanians. They don't like a lot of groups. But now they starting to come together as Hispanics and Latinos. They starting to band together, get their numbers up for a voting block so they can get power, right? They might fight amongst each other later. So now they're getting emboldened because they have their numbers up. And a black woman whose father is Panamanian, but her mother's FBA, she walks into a restaurant and encounters this.
Why?
Dolly?
Who the f are you? How the hell you get this house? Where's the lady that lives here? Where's the lady that lives here, bro?
They know it, bro.
Straight up?
Yeah, she has
These motherfuckers chick over?
What?
These motherfuckers chick over?
Why? That's crazy, bro. Like,
Straight up crazy, bro. Hell yeah, crazy. Hell yeah.
yeah.
What's up? I mean, what's up? Who the f is you, bro? Coming in my hood. What the f is this going on, bro?
Yo.
Why did it put her? Oh, no.
Yo.
What happened to that lady that used to live here? Esta cabrona no sabe.
There's a little girl right there, dude. Go back to your house. Go back to your house. I'm not doing nothing, bro. There's little girls right here. I have
Go inside. Go inside.
Where do people leave?
She been left to Puerto Rico, bro. Months ago, Babu. Months
And
ago.
this house?
Huh? Yeah, this is their new house. They've been
Yeah,
here for
en
months.
serio?
Yeah, en serio, Babu. Déjalos quietos, ¿eh?
No,
Son
venga,
tranquilos.
quieto, vale.
Son tranquilos.
Pero, what you mean?
Mira, yo te dejo con lo tuyo.
What you mean?
Tú estás en la propiedad de ellos.
What you mean?
No.
Here, bro. How the a Puerto Rican woman just leave out of nowhere? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? How the come in my house? And this shit right here.
Put videos out like this. Many Latinos will make comments talking about it goes both ways. And with all due respect, I really mean that. No, it does not. I mean, it's an interesting conversation and debate that doesn't have to get out of control and emotional, and we don't have to hate each other while having it or even after. But fact of the matter is, black people do not act anywhere like that towards Latinos or Hispanics, whatever you want to call them. And the comparison isn't even close. Let's just be real, because if that was the case, the Latinos who live in Detroit would all have similar stories of being told by blacks that they just don't want them in their neighborhoods just for being Latinos, or all the workplace discrimination and harassment or gangs racially politicking against them like in LA. But they don't.
The part that's upsetting to me is everybody's acting like they're shocked. And black people ain't shocked. Black people are just upset because you didn't listen to us other black people. Now I want to unpack something. What I told you guys, our biggest detractors amongst this grassroots FBA thing is not going to be other immigrants. It's going to be our own people, trying to convince our own people to wake up. Well, our own people starting to get their wake-up call, right? They're starting to get their wake-up call. And that's what they get. It's on them because they did not listen. I mean, it's so bad. I'm here on the East Coast in Philadelphia where we don't black and brown bang here. We don't get along. We always got along with Puerto Ricans. But I've been questioning that now that Latinos are starting to get their numbers up. Well, will our relationship with Puerto Ricans in Philadelphia remain the same? I'm not too sure about that, right? Because in Philadelphia, Puerto Ricans and blacks always been real cool. Like, I'm talking about real cool. In communities together. It's not that beef. Like, I'm not walking down the street fearing for my life for a Puerto Rican or vice versa. Here, that's just the culture here. I can't speak for other places, right? Because I know in other places, other demographics is different. I'm only speaking about what's going here. I can't speak about Chicago. I don't know nothing about that. Detroit, I don't know nothing about that, right? I know about what's going on here. But with that being said, they starting to get their numbers up. They may start acting like this.
This lady called me and you didn't know I spoke Spanish. You shouldn't have called me that. And you could have apologized. And she did too.
Oh yeah, this is all bad. Wait, there's more.
The setting is a restaurant that I just walked into to get something to eat while my 18-year-old took my 5-year-old and 4-year-old to get them ice cream. I simply asked for a to-go menu, and while I was scanning the menu, two of the waitresses started to banter in Spanish and started talking about me in Spanish and referred to me as a, which is a large N-word or a large, basically derogatory term. For context, my father's Panamanian. He was born in Panama. His first language is Spanish, and although he could have been a better father to me, that is something he did teach me, is that while I am not fluent in Spanish, I do know the word very well, and I know when it's being used in a way to demean me and to insult me. And at that moment, those women were talking about me, and when I called them out, their eyes got big as this. And for those of you that feel like, oh, well, we need to see the whole video, let me say, when she initially called me that, my heart just sank, and I threw the menu down, and their eyes went like this because they knew that I knew what they were saying, and I left. And I went over to the store where my kids were, and I asked the girl, like, bad word, right? And she was like, yeah. And she was a Hispanic girl. And I went back over there, and I confronted the lady very quietly because I wasn't trying to make a scene.
Sorry? You call me You call me that? You did. And you call me my You call me that. That's, first of all, let me tell y'all something.
No.
You don't know what people can understand. And that was so unkind of you.
No,
that was so unkind of you.
I told the lady.
No. You can either say sorry, you can apologize, we're gonna keep playing dumb. Okay. I want you to know that was very unkind of you.
I know.
That's unkind of you. But that's cool.
Whatever happens after this point is on y'all, but don't eat at that place. And also be very mindful of where y'all eat, because if this is what's happening in the front while I'm looking at the menu, what else is happening in the kitchen? Let's keep it 100. If I'm in the front ordering and I gotta be the big N-word or big whatever, because I know there's gonna be people in the comments saying my can mean something else. It don't mean it's you don't call nobody that is a patron of a restaurant. Let's just keep it clear. What are you doing to my food in the back?
And see, it's so bad because you're not going to see no videos of black people standing outside a Puerto Rican house asking them what you doing in our hood. You will not. I challenge anybody to show me. You're not going to see no black. I'm not talking about California. I don't know nothing about that demographic there in Southern California. But show me where there's a large influx of Puerto Ricans. Here in Philadelphia, there may be about 200,000 to 300,000 of them, right? Show me where you will see black people surrounding the home of a Puerto Rican telling them why you in my hood. We've never treated Latinos like this, like that. We don't have a history of treating Latinos like that. They know it. And I can, so much so to the point where this Mexican brother right here, he's going to blow the whistle and tell the truth and dispel the lies.
So I went to school and grew up with a lot of blacks. So by the time I'm in juvenile hall and all that, I'm cool with blacks. You know, I'm cool with them. But then you meet people from like the east side that they don't have no blacks around them, never. So they're in there and they're just like, oh, these mayates, homie, and woo-woo-woo. But I don't give a fuck, man. Shout out to all my black cellmates I ever had. Rest in peace, Yellowstone from Black P Stones, TS from Neighborhood 55, Touche from Rolling 40s. You know, those were all cellies that I grew a bond with immediately.
But there's only the Latinos that grew up in South LA establish those relationships. You're from East LA, Boyle Heights, Southeast.
It's odd for them. It's different. They don't know how to react when it comes down to getting selled up with a Moreno.
So from the gang banging to the boardroom, we had videos with city council members out there in LA saying very disparaging things about black people. What more do you guys need to wake up? See, a lot of our people got low self-esteem, man. We're very influential, but we'll know that there's some things that's not good for us and destroying us, but we'll still support it. And when some of our people start to raise their level of esteem, and we start to step away and say we ain't doing this, you get pushback from your own people, because we've been conditioned to be the footstool for so many people for so long. It's hard to see yourself outside of that. That's why I'm gonna do a video on the Freddy Krueger effect. It's bad, man. It's really bad, and like things got to be done. Some things got to be done about that, and that's why I'm glad we got the grassroots. Now, Tariq Nasheed, he saw this and he spoke to this and he came out and he said this.
But listen, here's the real deal about the conversation about Latinos. Do they have more camaraderie with us or the dominant white society? Understand this. In their culture, they got that blanqueamiento. It's called whitening. They got that thing in their culture, meta la raza and blanqueamiento, something like that. Blanqueamiento. Where my Spanish people, Spanish-speaking people, y'all know what I'm talking about. Listen, before they even come to the U.S., a lot of them exist within these Latin and Caribbean caste systems that was established during European colonization. So they promote this whitening, blanqueamiento ideology that equates European ancestry with lighter skin and proximity to whiteness to social supremacy and to economic power. And that deeply ingrained anti-blackness, that's prevalent throughout Latin America. Let's be real. That shit is prevalent out there. So shit, it's nothing for them to bring it out here. You understand? And understand, when they get over here, there's something called ethnic attrition. That describes how descendants of immigrants assimilate into the dominant culture over certain generations. And a lot of statistics show that third and fourth generation Hispanics, especially ones with higher education and higher incomes, they'll intermarry with non-Hispanic white Americans at high rates. And then after a while, their children drop the whole Hispanic identifier altogether. So they act like nobody was ever Hispanic when they get white enough. You see? And that's really the goal for a lot of them. And here's the thing. See, they got a strategic utilization of civil rights infrastructure. See, foundational Black Americans, we spent centuries building the nation's civil rights infrastructure. You know, a lot of anti-discrimination laws, affirmative action, diversity initiatives, and these other groups will adopt an aggrieved minority status so they can gain institutional entry and protections under that umbrella. You see, they'll come around us because they need protection as an ethnic other because they're not allowed into whiteness yet. Whiteness is othering them, and while they're being othered, they need protection, so they'll do the temporary minority people of color thing. But see, once they get their economic weight together, once they get an economic foothold and that's secured, their reliance on that whole minority coalition, they'll drop that. And then when they integrate into upward white mainstream mobility, we're out here fighting the systemic battles alone. They're not really fighting white supremacy with us. Yeah? That's why that's why, even with this ICE stuff, they've been begging us to go out there and get knocked up and get bruises and all that for them, because they ain't really fighting it like that. They're not fighting it like that. They don't want to go up against what they want to be. You're not going to really fight what you want to be.
So I'm going to say this to the FBA. Let's just take racism out for a minute. Right? We already understand the aspect of racism. Let's take the emotion out. Let's unpack this for a second. Let's take racism and put it to the side. When a group starts to come and they start to outnumber you, and they have their numbers up, why would they want to vote for you to be their spokesman, to speak for them when they outnumber you? They're looking for power now. They're looking at like they came here, they did the jobs nobody else wanted to do. They worked in them fields down there in Texas and California and Florida. And now their mothers and parents did that. They don't want to do that no more, right? So when Jasmine Crockett made that stupid cotton picking comment, and I understood what she might have been trying to say, but that was a dumb comment to make and lets me know that she wasn't suitable. Because she bound to say any damn thing, right? These people now smell blood in the water, and they want power. So they looking at it like, man, but black people, man, you guys influence the world, but you still own nothing in your communities. You still have nothing. So we're not going to acquiesce to you. We're going to surpass you, like Dr. Claude Anderson said, and we're going to build our own things. We're going to have more power than you, and we're going to tell you what to do. You're going to be our footstool because we're in the middle. We can play the W, we can play black, we can play Latino, we can play all sides. So we got the power. You don't. And you don't want power because you don't even want to, you want to relinquish your spirituality and power to everybody else but yourselves. So now when they come in, they move in your community, within 5 years, they own all the property and all the businesses. So why would they respect us? They're not going to respect us. We got to love each other. Foundational Black Americans, it's not just a lineage, right? It's not just a lineage. It's a lifestyle as well that we got to practice on loving each other and building with each other. Or it's over because the Asians is next. But y'all gotta let me know what y'all think. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time, peace.